Okay, so the Suns advance. They will now face the Nuggets in the next round. Let's take a look, though, at the game last night between the Nuggets and Blazers. Now, there was hope for the Blazers, but when that fourth quarter rolled around, they absolutely collapsed. And Avery, I'm going to start listening to you all the time. This is another series you called with the Nuggets now advancing.
Yeah, I think one of my biggest takeaways moving forward, especially with Portland, is Damian Lillard. What's his future, Amanda, with this team? Is he going to be around? Is he going to force his way out? It's been 8 years where this team has only advanced past the first round, a couple of times, and they haven't been able to make it to the finals. This guy's, had 30 plus points in about 22 games, 22 playoff games. He's just been phenomenal. So I think the biggest question coming out of this series, can the Los Angeles Lakers some kind of way add Damian Lillard to their roster, which I would think would be a significant upgrade and would then catapult them to be the favorites to win the Western Conference next year. So hats off to the Denver Nuggets. Jokic was incredible. Austin Rivers had a game or two where he played really phenomenal. But Jokic, we know what they're getting. Jamal Murray's coming back next year after his ACL injury. But the biggest question is what's going to happen with Damian Lillard with Portland moving forward?
All right, Coach, I'm going to put you on the hot spot then. What is going to happen to Dame Lillard? Because we saw social media last night blow up, get out Dame. Of course, he's got that huge max extension that kicks in next year, so a team's going to have to pick up that. So I want you to answer that about Dame, but then also head coach Terry Stotts, was that his last game with the Trailblazers? What happens to him?
Yeah, I'll take Terry Stotts first. I've been in that situation before. He's lasted a whole lot longer in some of the coaching jobs I've had, especially when I've, had a chance to even help the Mavericks advance to the finals for the first time in their 25-year history back in 2006. But I see Terry Stotts surviving and moving forward with the team. I would be a little bit surprised if they made a move. Overall, he's done a really nice job. It's unfortunate for him that they've run up against some really outstanding Lakers teams, and the Spurs, before Duncan retired, they were, outstanding. And so the Western Conference has been significantly tough. Houston and Golden State got the big three. So I see him surviving. But Damian Lillard, I think that was his last game. I do not see Damian Lillard in a Portland Trailblazers uniform. I think, maybe he'll do it a little bit quiet behind the scenes, unlike what Anthony Davis did when he was forcing his way out of New Orleans. But I think this is it. Damian Lillard has maximized his potential with trying to help Portland advance to an NBA Finals. So I would see Damian Lillard in a uniform with potentially one of the Lakers teams, one of the Los Angeles teams. Miami, Pat Riley's always been aggressive. And then you look at a team like the New York Knicks, $75 million worth of cap space. I like the way they've turned around that culture and that entire organization. And they are a superstar away from being a contender in the East. Julius Randle needs to be like your third best player for you to have a championship caliber team. So I believe Damian Lillard has played his last game in Portland.
All right, you heard it right there from Avery Johnson. That would be a great solution for the Knicks because those fans right now licking their wounds a little bit after Trae Young went in there and dominated. I want to go back to the Nuggets for a little bit, of course, knocking off the Blazers there. They move on to face the Suns. Now, you said the Suns are your pick to win the West, but how much of a run can the Nuggets give them in this series?
Oh, the Nuggets can give them a run. Jokic is he's a problem. A lot of times as a former coach, when you have players like Jokic that are problem solvers, and now you got Michael Porter Jr., he's getting better, he's healthy. He's a very unique player. He's like a 0.5. He can play in the post, perimeter. They play through him at the elbow. He makes his teammates better. He's a big body that finishes well in the paint. This guy really doesn't have any weaknesses. He's not the most athletic guy, But when you're a big guy that can stretch the floor and make threes and mid-range shots, finish around the basket, he plays at all three levels. He's a guy, when you're working on a scouting report with the Denver Nuggets, your scouting report starts and finishes with Jokic in mind. So it's going to be really good to see him matched up against Ayton, because Ayton has improved. He's had quite a few double-doubles in the first round against the Lakers. So it's going to be a fun matchup. You're going to have two future consistent superstars in this first round matchup with Devin Booker and Jokic.
Avery, let's look to tonight. It's all going down just a couple blocks from your home there in Dallas. He's so excited. You got the Mavs looking to close out the Clippers. Okay, Avery, here's the thing, though. The Clippers, they need a solution for Luka, but we know this. Dallas has not won at home. You picked them to win the series, so can they close out the Clippers tonight?
Oh, absolutely they can close out the Clippers tonight. Luka's feeling good. Porzingis made a huge three-point shot at the end of Game 5. I think he's going to carry that confidence here in the Game 6. The Mavericks couldn't have asked for a better early Christmas present. You got Game 6 at home. You're up 3-2. No matter how you got there, even by winning all 3 road games, you've been handed the Los Angeles Clippers on a silver platter at the American Airlines Center in front of a raucous crowd. You couldn't have asked for a better situation here tonight. So Dallas is going to be going crazy. I'm going to be watching this game from a friend's house. And I just think the American Airlines Center, the Mavs thing is going to go crazy. Mark Cuban's going to be leading the charge. They haven't had an answer for Luka in this entire series, except even when he injured his neck. So I think Tim Hardaway is going to make 7 threes tonight. Dallas Mavericks win this game tonight, because if they don't, they're potentially going to lose this series if it has to go back to Los Angeles.
You're right about the Suns. You're right about the Nuggets. We'll see if you're right about the Mavs. If they do win, you might have some trouble getting back to your home there right near the American Airlines Center. Avery Johnson, enjoy tonight. Enjoy watching the game. Thanks so much for joining us here on HQ. All right, here are your upcoming games. There is just one tonight, Game 6 between the Clippers and the Mavs. The Clippers, the favorite by 2.5 on the road. And then Saturday, you get Bucks, Nets going up against one another. Game 1 there, the Nets favored by 4 at home.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.